Yo, what up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As the video suggests, the title, I recently broke my Arch Linux again. The first time interrupted the update, so I used like pacman-SYU system update. I interrupted it and then he corrupted it. Second time was kind of my fault again, but not really. So I was basically trying to install a, I already got my printer working on my Linux PC using something called Cups. And then the printing part of this was working fine, right? But I was trying to use the scan feature and scan on my printer, but used my PC to do over Wi-Fi. Now I could have done it the easy way and just use the application on my iPhone and then click scan and then scan it and do everything on my iPhone basically. But I want to eventually be able to do it on my PC, on my Arch Linux KDE Plasma 6 currently, right? Anyways, I want to be able to do it on my PC as well whenever I want, just in case my devices are like not near me and I'm like charging my iPhone or whatever. So I was looking for something that works along with Cups, something that works with Cups. It's like another package that works with it so that you can scan. And then I was doing the system update and then it looked to me like it finished, but it actually froze. So everything was frozen. I tried clicking a bunch of buttons, mouse, it would not unfreeze for like 10 minutes. I was getting impatient, so I hardware resetted it. Like on my PC, there is a button that you press and then it'll restart your PC. Kind of like if you had a Nintendo 64, you know, that little reset button. I did that, and apparently it didn't finish updating, so it corrupted my ISO or the OS of Linux. So it corrupted it. So basically I had to repartition it and reinstall the ISO. I went through the whole process again of making sure that I get the most updated ISO version of Arch Linux, put it into a USB drive or a flash drive, flash it onto the flash drive using something called virt-manager. I had to figure out some way, somehow, to use my flash drive on my MacBook Air. Problem with that is my MacBook Air, the M2 version, doesn't have a Type A port to connect my flash drive. So good thing I already had like a hub where I could connect a bunch of USB Type C's and USB Type A's, and that was connected to my PC, but I disconnected it and then connected it to my laptop, and that's how I transferred this ISO using my MacBook that I have right here, and then I transferred it to my flash drive that is on my, let me turn on the light right here. So my flash drive is on this hub right here. It's currently connected to my PC. I had this connected to the back of the PC, but I moved it up to the front because I had to like connect this part to my MacBook. And again, like I show you guys, this MacBook does not have a Type A port. Alright, no Type A port. Should have gotten the MacBook Pro, but Apple be expensive for no reason, at least when it comes to their laptops. And it only has a jack, a headphone jack on the other side. If you guys want to know what specific ergonomic split keyboard this is the Mo Ergo Glove 80. Again, it's the ergonomic split keyboard with concave wheels, and I am still using my 10 keyless keyboard as well. Let's see. Now, if you guys hear like that sound again, it is my steering wheel. Whenever I play video games that are kind of like vehicle simulators, like car simulators, I have my pedals down there too as well. Now, I got my KDE Plasma installed. KDE Plasma -meta downloads everything that you need to get basically this IDE interactive desktop environment. So like Windows or Mac OS, I'm gonna be re-downloading a bunch of packages that no longer work, and I'll try to show you guys exactly how I went through the whole process myself of recovering Linux. We're logged into my Arch Linux KDE Plasma, put in my passwords. Alright, so for example here, I have everything working now, correct? Now, this application right here used to be Steam, so I have to reinstall Steam in order to be able to play video games. I need to install OBS Studio to be able to stream everything. This is why I'm recording using my DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro to do all of this, and then upload it onto my channel. That way you guys can actually see the whole process in this format, like a first-person or a FPV, first-person view of how to do all this stuff. I do apologize if you guys cannot see the detail or any of the small letters and stuff. And what you're gonna do is reboot into BIOS. All right. I'm gonna do is hard reset it, so I can show you guys. Hopefully your guys' PC has a button like that. Not all of them do, but mine has a button right here that will restart it. So I'm gonna click it. And then you're gonna look for the F2 button or the F12 or whatever shows up on your device when you turn it on. It says delete or F2 for me. Now I'm gonna button mash F2 to enter the UEFI BIOS. My UEFI BIOS utility is ASUS because the motherboard is an ASUS 5700X plus Wi-Fi. That's the name of it, and this is their BIOS. This is how it looks like. Now what you're gonna look for is like advanced mode. For my BIOS system is F7, so click that, and then you're gonna see a bunch of choices, right? Mine is right here, boot. So you're gonna go to boot config, not actually go into the config, but just hover over the tab that says boot. All right, and that's what I'm gonna do. You're gonna use the arrow keys, even though you can use the mouse. It's a little slow. And then for me, you're gonna see the name of your flash drive, but for me, it is a Samsung flash drive Fit 1100. It has 32 gigs on it. Now, this says it has 2 partitions on that 32 gig one. One of them is the one I downloaded the first time, and this one, partition 2, is probably the partition one for the second time. Can you load into it? All right, press enter. The enter button for me is over here, where the thumbs are. You're gonna either wait for it to count down. It's the first option, Arch Linux install medium 86/64 UEFI. Do not move it. Let it either you select it early or let it time down, and it will load up like this. Alright, it says welcome to Arch Linux. Now, if you guys are doing this for the first time and you guys do not want to encrypt your solid state drives, you can download the Arch install, or actually from here, this is how it's gonna look like. Alright, now you can see here, there's an installation guide right there. So what you're gonna type in here is with capitalization and lowercasing, and like everything has to be exactly as you see it. So I'm gonna do that, so you guys can see the installation guide within the TTY one, which is like basically the terminal. All right, so installation. Let's see, // and then guide, GUIDE. All right, just like that. Enter, and then it boots you into the installation guide. There's like 11 pages, and it's kind of like being on the Arch Wiki for the installation guide. Hopefully you guys can see it. Arch Wiki English, Arch Wiki add-on feed. It has a menu, all this stuff. Home, packages, form, wiki, GitLab, security, AUR, including the download. So you could also download it via internet. If you guys are using what's called a LAN cable and it's directly connected to your router, then everything's automatic, and you could continue the process without having to basically activate the network and stuff. There's extra steps. Now you're going to be using the arrow keys right here. It says use arrow key or the return to activate. All right, so I'm going to use the arrow keys. You are already in the beginning of this document. Right, so I'm going to press down. It's highlighting home right now, it's green. So for me, it's highlighting yellow. Now, let's see the download. It says kernel version. Now let's see where the yellow stuff is. You can burn it into a fucking DVD ISO file, return to a USB, or be directly written to a USB drive. So it's the same stuff as the Arch Wiki. Images for installing Arch can be downloaded via BitTorrent or right here in your browser from one of the Arch HTTPS mirrors down below. All right, existing Arch users. BitTorrent download recommended. You can see all that stuff here. Torrent, magnet link. Where am I? Arch Linux netboot, Docker image, the virtual machine images, HTTP direct download. So right here. So if you guys want to do that, you could go to the mirror list below. If you press enter on this, you can see it's the same thing as the Arch Wiki, and you can scroll down to the country that you are currently residing, and then select one, and then press enter, and then it'll start the download via Wi-Fi. I believe you have to actually make sure that you can connect, like your PC is connected to the Wi-Fi. And if not, then there's a certain command I just don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not going to be wasting my time on that right now. That's not what we're here for. Quit, enter. Now you're going to be seeing root Arch ISO. That means you're in the live Arch Linux, which means right now all this is on your USB flash drive, right? there is a command that you use in order to get into your actual PC. And for me, I have to unlock it before I do anything. So I'm gonna skip all this because I already did this. If you guys want me to do a separate video of how to install Arch Linux, I've already done this. My YouTube video is on the playlist for from gamer to engineer playlist. I believe if you start on the second one, the second video on there will show you step by step of what I did the very first time. Literally will show you everything. So it's a long video. You guys can speed up the video or skip ahead, but it has everything in there, including all my mistakes, all my suffering for 7-8 hours of doing this and installing it the manual way. Okay. Now also within that video, towards the beginning, I tell people where they could go and basically get like a tutorial that they could follow step by step. And the dude is on YouTube. So when you guys go to YouTube and put install Arch Linux, like everyone else does, right? That's why you guys are here. His name is, well, the channel name is Learn Linux TV. How to install Arch Linux the first time. It's a complete walkthrough. Now, it's an hour video, but the first 24 minutes, it shows you how to install it using Arch, the Arch install. Can you use this? Arch install, again, is like a installation wizard. And then, yeah, it's quick. That's how it looks like. Before you guys start, know that everything needs to be typed perfectly in the terminal. If you guys mess something up, it's gonna basically do something else. It's not gonna work, or you're gonna confuse the hell out of it, because it needs to have specific directions of what you want to do and where everything is at. So computers cannot critically think and figure it out by itself. That's why you have to do it yourself, right? You guys are basically programming it. Exited, right? I exited the install. Now a really cool thing you could do, like if you don't want to see everything up here and don't get confused, you don't want to get confused, you can type in clear. All right, clear. Press enter and it clears everything. That way you're starting fresh, and then you don't get confused with all these letters and numbers on the display, right? And then you could actually go through the installation guide, yada yada. Now I'm gonna reboot right now. Reboot, enter. I'm just gonna turn off. All right. And then this time I'm not going to press F2 or delete or whatever. I'm going to let it load. All right, so it kind of loaded. So I'm going to type in my password. Since my PC is encrypted. Crap, I think I typed it in incorrectly. Now, only one of my SSDs is like I'm only able to access my my first SSD. Shit, I can't multitask. All right. What was my password? All right, that's how it looks like. All right, so we're back here. All right, back in the matrix, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna open up ChatGPT. All right, and then it's asking me allow ChatGPT to store data in persistent storage. Nope, block that. Let's see, I'm gonna Arch Linux recovery steps. I already have a prompt for that. Let it load. Then I'm gonna continue off of this. Because here you're missing virt-manager for my virtual machine. I installed KVM and QEMU, the GUI, to be able to access it and stuff. All the files and stuff are still saved on my second SSD, but that one's encrypted, and I can't access it yet unless I go back into the BIOS system and configure it. But before I do that, I'm gonna download the OBS first. That way I could stream, and then Steam, of course, because I want to be able to play games. And then basically have everything on the first SSD, or as much as I could get done in this video, and then unlock the second SSD and be able to transfer files back and forth. And last time I did not do this, but I had to input my password twice, one for each SSD to unlock it. So I had one password for this one password for this SSD. Once it logged into the OS, to log into KDE Plasma, I had to put in for the third time, a different password. And if you guys don't want to do this is super secure, but you guys have to memorize the different passwords. I use different passwords for each one, and sometimes I get it jumbled and forget which one's which, but I have 3 passwords to be able to get into this. For security reasons, this is super secure, but I might actually connect them so that all I have to do is, at the beginning when it loads up, put in the password once to unlock both SSDs, and one more time to unlock or get into the actual IDE, the desktop environment, basically. Okay, now I could also open up YouTube here. I'm not going to put on my headphones, that way I can hear myself speaking. Hopefully I'm speaking loud enough for you guys to hear. Let's go to my channel. Let's full screen this. You guys could probably see this better. Again, I'm going to have my laptop over here because if I have to do any rebooting and stuff, I want to be able to continue showing you guys stuff. You guys go to YouTube, my channel, go to playlists, and it's going to be the one, it's probably going to be the first one since this is a recent upload, and I'm going to put it into this playlist called Arch Linux from Gamer to Engineer, my first install. All right, that's how it looks like, my first install. So this was a live stream. This first one was about 3 hours, but I had to redo everything all over again because I messed up. All right, the reason why I still have this on the playlist is because I want you guys to see all the troubleshooting, all the mistakes that I made, hopefully entertain you guys with my suffering, etc. The second video up here, all right, is me actually going through the whole process, sleep deprived, hungry, but I got it done. My first install part 2, towards the beginning of the video, I explained everything that happened the day prior, and that I had to do everything again. You guys don't have to watch all 7 hours. That's what the YouTube history is for. It'll hopefully remember your spot, and there you can play around with the speed modifier or skip ahead to important parts. It all depends on you guys. My third video, from Gamer to Engineer, is my post-install part 1. All right, and then the one after that is basically these 2 videos are me installing virtualization onto Arch Linux with KVM and QEMU, and I downloaded Windows 10 on it. I installed Windows 10 on it, Visual Studio, because I needed something called MASM. Microsoft, like a thing within Visual Studio. It already comes with it, but in order for me to do my computer science class assignments, I require Microsoft Visual Studio, and it can't be the version for like the Mac OS. So I can't do any of my homework because I have an Mac OS device, and I gave away my only other laptop, my gaming laptop, Alienware laptop, to my nephew, and that had Windows 11 installed on it, so I'm shit out of luck, and I should probably replace all my Apple devices and go back to Samsung or something. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm good right now. I just gotta fix this PC and get it working again. So let's do that. The next thing I'm gonna have open, I'm gonna put this off to the side, is something called console terminal. So during the install, even in that video, like the long ass video and stuff, I installed console, which is a terminal interface where you can bash things in. Now I'm gonna full screen this so you guys can see it, hopefully clear. And off to the right side. Now I'm gonna start installing all this stuff. So on my, let's see, I'm using ChatGPT for it, and I have to scroll and find the exact spot. So right here, what you could do with AI, hopefully you don't have to purchase the subscription for it. I did, just because it gives me more features and stuff. And I don't know how many, like, eventually you hit a certain amount of prompts and then you have to use like a weaker or a slower version or a different version. You can't gain access to ChatGPT 5 or whatever, like the good stuff. I input pictures of what I'm doing, what it asks me to do, and then when I get an output for something, I take pictures with my phone, because I also have ChatGPT and Gemini on my phone, so that I can take photos, and then I refresh it on here and or on this laptop in order to be able to like see on the laptop or on a different device. And then for this screenshot, for example, it says local plasma 6.4-4 meta package to install KDE plasma. It says you have already installed it, you're at the correct version, and you're already running KDE plasma 6. So I asked it if I have to install it again. It told me if I have issues actually going into the desktop, then that means I have to make sure that I have something called SDDM, or graphics drivers, not plasma itself, installed in order to exit the TTY and actually like see this, what you guys are saying. Install the SDDM sudo pacman-s SDDM. And again, I told ChatGPT to tell me detailing explanations of what I am doing on that step and why I'm doing it. What does it do? Why does it work, or why am I doing it? I want to know the who, what, when, where, why of everything, right? And then hopefully some of this will get stuck in you guys' brain, and you guys could hopefully start memorizing some of these steps, or like basic fundamentals of how it works. All right, so I installed it, and then I made sure that I rebooted into it. Sudo pacman plasma desktop is I didn't need to do that because Plasma was correctly installed. Now it says I got into KDE Plasma with some of my applications such as virt-manager, QEMU, KVM, my printer, OBS, Steam doesn't work. And then I told it also I can't access my second Lux encrypted SSD. So Lux is what I'm using to encrypt my storage devices. Now, and then it says, let's tackle your missing applications and the second Lux drive issue step by step. All right, so missing application, virt-manager, OBS, Steam, printer tools. Now, the good thing about once you have KDE installed and you can actually get into the interface and you have the terminal on here and you have access to like something like a browser like Firefox or Chromium, you could open this up just like I did, have the terminal on one side, Gemini on the other. Now you could actually save even more time and copy the code. Like click copy code and then click onto here and then you Control-Shift-V to control copy onto a terminal. Okay, you can't just press Control-V. It's like a safety feature that the terminal has in order for you not to accidentally mess things up, because you can actually let's see, Control-V would caret-V is you can caret-V instead of Control-Shift-Copy. Let's see, backspace. Control-Shift-V actually copies whatever you copied from ChatGPT. All right. Now, before I press enter, let's see what this is. It says after a reinstall fix like this, some apps may not have been pulled back in. Let's check and reinstall what's needed. Virtual Machine Manager plus QEMU KVM. So that's the first one that I put on there. Sudo pacman -s virt-manager QEMU full VDE2 bridge-utils openbsd -netcat. And then it tells me over here on the left side, the virt-manager is a GUI to manage virtual machines. QEMU full, QEMU with most options enabled. Bridge-utils, DNS-MAS. I remember I didn't download the full one, I think. I think I clicked option 2, not the basic one, but whatever. I'll probably download the full one. Bridge-utils, DNS-MAS-Q is a networking support for virtual machines. Then enable libvirt-d, sudo systemctl enable now libvirt-d service. And that will be number 1. All right. Press enter. Now I have to input the password. Let's see if I can remember it. Crap. All right. So this is gonna show up. It's gonna say or ask proceed with installation. Yes. Enter. You put in Y for enter. Y for yes, N for no. You're gonna wait for it to download. Now I do remember from my installation video for the QEMU KVM, the virtualization video that I have on my YouTube channel, I have to basically make sure that I install something to be able to access files from my virtual machine to my actual machine, so I could like transfer it back and forth. When I save something on my what is it called? When I save something within the virtual manager, it will save onto files that I can access here. Like I have to go to the file manager. The file manager here is called Dolphin, and I could access the stuff here. So I have to make sure everything works. Let's just continue this. So now, number 1, the missing application virt-manager should be installed. To check it, sometimes you don't have to reboot, so that's a good thing. You get to decide whether to reboot or not. So in the search bar, I should have virt-manager. So type in there we go, virtual machine manager. So now I have it downloaded, and hopefully it works like it did before. And if not, then I'm gonna have to set all that stuff up. So let's click into this. QEMU, KVM, not connected. All right, so that file and stuff, hopefully everything, because the files apparently didn't get deleted, it should show up after I input the second command right here, copy code, enable libvirt-d, Control-Shift-V, sudo systemctl enable --now. Obviously it forces it to do it like right now, libvirt-d service. So it activates the service, so it activates it. All right, so let's do that, enter. All right, did a whole bunch of stuff quickly. Now, if you don't see an error over here saying something that it didn't work, that means it's good. You're good to go. It worked. It installed it. So you're good to go if it's blank right here. If something does show up, that means there was an error, and it'll actually tell you probably 1 line, 2 lines up that it did not install for whatever reason. Like, just, you don't have to learn the ins and outs of everything yet. You guys will slowly start learning what all this stuff does. Like directories, or like different places within a file or directory. The slash is like, let's see, etc / means it's a directory within etc is a directory for system md, and within this there's a directory or file called system, and so on and so on, until you see sockets.target. and that's how it works. And then you see another slash, and so on and so on. That's how the computer sees it, and that's why it's showing you all that. Anyways, now let's go back to virt-manager. Right, virt-manager. Let's see, system, multimedia. I have Kden Live, so I can edit videos. If I have the time, I'm going to start editing my videos. If not, then I'm going to probably hire like my niece or something to do it for me, or I'll just do it the lazy way like I am now and just upload videos this way. All right, authentication required. System policy prevents management of local virtualized systems. Authenticating as Teleco 760. All right, so this is good. All right, this kind of stuff is a good sign. I probably just have to input my password. All right, I have to be super careful to type it in because I dislike having to retype the passwords. Was it the correct password? I think so. All right. Double click to connect. All right, let's see if it works. Okay, so it's connected. Now what do I do? Click it again. All right, virtual networks, storage. So I believe because I set up basically my second SSD with the virtual manager and all the files and Windows, the Windows OS is installed in there, and that is encrypted. And like I said before, they're not talking to each other right now, so I can't access any files or any info on the second SSD until I do that. Now I'm not going to do that right now because that will, again, like I'll have to reboot and stuff like that, right? And I don't want to give too many prompts to ChatGPT to the point where I'm getting confused at where I left off. So I'm just going to continue, get all this stuff knocked out, and then ask it to connect the second SSD. So virtual machine manager application is now downloaded. Let's move on to OBS Studio. OBS Studio full package. Okay, the OBS Studio browser you have is just the browser source plugin, not the full app. Okay, so I need to do sudo pacman -OBS Studio. All right, let's Control Shift V, enter. Again, it's gonna ask you for the password every single time. That's how secure it is on Linux, not just Arch Linux, all Linux altogether. Press yes, installs it. All right, it's installed. That's how quick it is. All right, you notice how like when you're trying to update your system or anything on Windows, it takes forever. And there's a whole bunch of bloatware, and they're spying on you. They're saving all your data and they're selling it. So yeah. All right. Now OBS Studio -browser. Now let me see. The cool thing is you can press the up arrow and then it'll bring up the last command. Now I'm gonna press -browser, and hopefully it's OBS Studio browser. Before I enter it, I'm gonna see what the name is on here. OBS-Studio-browser. And then I need OBS-vkcapture. So the way I have my OBS set up, there's certain like scenes that won't work unless you have that installed. So like to be able to, you guys don't need to know the ins and outs of it unless you guys are actually streaming and stuff. Whoever is a YouTube streamer or anyone that's using OBS right now, you guys know what I'm talking about. The browser scene will not work and the camera scene will not work unless you install this. All right, so let's press enter. It says error not found, OBS-Studio browser. So copy the error message and then put it into, for this one, because it's not in the terminal, you can just press Control V and it actually works. Enter. All right, let's see what it tells me. Error target not found. OBS Studio browser means that package isn't in the official Arch repos. It lives within the AUR, which is Arch user repository. All right. Add browser source feature in OBS lets you embed web pages and overlays. The default OBS Studio package in Arch doesn't include it. To get it, you either use the AUR package or a custom OBS build that includes browser plugin, for example, OBS Studio browser from the AUR or OBS Studio Titan 652. It says how to install OBS Studio browser from the AUR. If you have an AUR helper, example, yeah, you can do it. If not, manually install prerequisites if needed, git base devel, etc. So sudo pacman -s git base devel, and then it's telling me clone the AUR git clone, and then it's giving me a website. And it says create a directory for OBS Studio browser, and then build and install. So if you guys want to avoid actually installing the AUR access and stuff to be more secure, you can do it manually. So install, yeah, recommended for easier future AUR installs. So it's telling me sudo pacman -s git base devel git clone http AUR lynch. Okay, cd, yeah, make pkg SI. After this, you'll be able to install the AUR package like OBS. Okay, so I should have just copied the one from before, I guess. So sudo pacman-git clone. Okay, I think it was the same thing. Yeah, it was the same thing. Now, if I put the whole thing in, hopefully it will work. Yep, it works. Now, when you guys are in the live ISO, like the flash drive, and you try to put what's called, like, if you press enter, it will not skip to a new line, and you can't continue typing more stuff to like quickly install everything. And you can't use the mouse, like I can't use the mouse in that terminal or whatever. So it's definitely a lot better and a lot quicker to be able to copy it over this way and do multiple things at once, because I had to type each line individually, and again, I'm a slow typer, so it takes me forever to do it. But thankfully for you guys don't have to sit there and wait. You guys can skip ahead or speed up the video. It says sudo password for Telco 760. Okay, so I did not type it in correctly. All right, yes, installing. It says after this you'll be able to install the AUR package like OBS Studio Browser with just yay-s. Oh, okay, it says warning, a package has already been built. Installing existing package. Installing package yay with pacman-u. All right. So if you guys are not paying attention and you guys are just waiting for it to like automatically download, if this happens to you and it's requesting permission to do something, yes, it could be tedious and fucking like annoying, but it's secure. It's like, if anything happens, it's your fault. Or if anything happens, it's my fault here. All right, now it says proceed with installation. So 2 packages, yay 12.50-1 and yay debug. So these are the 2 things that was also on the list that I'm obviously gonna need. So now I'm on Teleco 760 Arch Linux yay, and then I could use the yay dash capital S OBS Studio dash that stuff for OBS Studio Browser. Enter. All right, packages to clean build. Now, if you don't know what any of this stuff is, right? Like, look, it says FFmpeg, OBS Studio Browser, VLC, Lua, JIT, lib, whatever, all that stuff. Build file exists. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, packages to clean build. So what I do from my name, Arch Linux yay, when I inputted yay-s OBS Studio Browser all the way down, I'm just gonna control, copy everything. All right, if you guys don't know what it does, just put it into ChatGPT or Gemini, whichever AI you're using. So far, I'm telling you guys, Gemini and ChatGPT 5 from OpenAI are the AIs to use that. So far, rarely steer me wrong. Yay is working again and is correctly pulling OBS Studio Browser from the AUR along with its dependencies. Right now, it's asking that stuff in the bottom. And it says what this means: clean build, rebuild the packages from scratch, deletes old build files, choices, none, default, safest as, and the default is safest and fastest if you haven't had build issues before. A is useful if you want to rebuild everything from scratch. I installed, rebuild only things you already have installed. No, not installed, rebuild only the packages you don't already have. Or you can pick a number, example 1, 3, to clean build just those specific packages. So, let's see. Packages to clean up, I'm just gonna press enter. OBS Studio, let's see. Press enter twice, because the default one is none. All right, so yeah, depending on what you guys want to do, it could be different. I just press enter twice, the default is none, it says here. And then it says recommended for me. Okay, I didn't even read this before pressing buttons. Since this is your first time installing OBS Studio Browser after recovery, just press none. After that, Yay will download sources, compile them, and install the plugin. Once done, OBS should have browser force support again. Remove, make dependencies after install. Now let's see. Let's see. From where I inputted all this stuff. Actually, I don't think I need everything. It's just, I'll put, because you guys can pick and choose like what you guys want to control, copy, and then put into ChatGPT or AI. So I'm just gonna put it from here. I don't want to give it too much stuff to think, but just enough to be able to kind of gauge what happened. So it says, nice, your build is moving along correctly. Yay is compiling all the dependencies, those things. What this means, during your AUR build, make Some make dependencies, extra tools / libs, libraries only needed to compile, not to run, where installed. After building, you can choose to remove them to save space. Recommendation: if you want to keep your system lean, press Y, remove build dependencies. If you might build other AUR packages soon, example OBS plugins, Steam tools, press N to keep them. Since you just reinstalled Arch and are probably going to build a few more AUR packages soon, I'd recommend no. Keep the make dependencies for now. Okay, so type in N over here, N, enter, and then type in my password. Please don't mess up. Please don't mess up. Damn it, I messed up. Alright. Proceed with installation. Yes. Why? Yes. And yes. Again, you guys have to be sitting here in order to what's it called? To continue the process. Our sources are ready. You'll know when it's done when it either asks you something or, yep, see right now it says resolving dependencies. Look for conflict in packages. VLC plugin and VLC plugin, whatever, are in conflict. Remove VLC plugin. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna copy everything here because I do have VLC, but I don't think I need it. See, that's the thing. It's a time saver to be able to have AI tell you exactly what this gibberish tells you. It says, good catch. This package you currently have this installed, but the OBS-Browser plugin requires VLC plugin LuaJIT, and the two can't coexist. What to do? Yes, remove VLC plugin Lua so that VLC plugin LuaJIT can be installed. This is safe. VLC plugin LuaJIT is basically the same functionality but built against LuaJIT needed for OBS VLC will still work. Recommendation: press Y to remove it. All right, Y. If you press no, then it's good, like cancel the whole installation. Proceed. So it tells you right here, these are the packages. 3 packages. All right, you guys can look this up individually, your guys' self, if you guys don't trust AI, or tell AI. All right, what are these packages? What do each one do? Total install size is 1.75 megabytes. Net upgrade size is 0.8 megabytes. So, yep, I got plenty of storage. Actually, for my home file, it has only 250 gigs, but everything should fit. I shouldn't have any issues, and if I do, then I'll have to figure something out, because all your applications get installed into the home file, at least some of the main stuff. But it's a good thing because you can recover your whole Arch Linux or your Linux PC, just like how Windows has a recovery mode and stuff like that. This is a little bit more hands-on and stuff, but 1, you get to learn how your system, your OS works. 2, it's secure. 3, it's free. And yeah, it's pretty good. It says resolving dependency, FMPEG, OBS, they're in conflict, remove. I'm just gonna put yes and proceed, because I'm thinking it's the same thing but different. I don't know, different. It's slightly different. Basically, I need everything in OBS to work. I most likely did that the first time. All right. All right. If you guys see any like things skip on the video, it's either because I ran out of battery, had to recharge it and then continue later, or I edited just a little bit just so that the really unimportant stuff, like me just yapping like I am now, is removed so that the video is not too long. But if I included it, that's probably because it's currently like downloading some stuff, and I just want you guys to know how it looks like, just in case some of you guys want to see it for some reason. But yeah, you can see here the percentage wise is at 34, so it's gonna take a while. Some of the packages, like some parts, take longer than the rest, and then all of a sudden it can just skip all the way to 100. Well, it doesn't skip, but whatever. See, like it did right now. Nope, actually, nope. 47%. Yep. This stuff is cool. It's cool, especially I'm a computer engineering student, so all this stuff is very important to learn. I noticed that even though it was super frustrating to have to do it again, reinstalling it and then asking the AI to help me out and like giving me details on what each step does, I've been slowly practicing keyboard presses so that I could get slightly faster on my keyboard, and learn how to look at the screen and press the keys without having to look down. And the only time I have to waste time actually pressing keys on my keyboard is stuff that has to do with like computer programming or things on the terminal, things that I'm actually going to be most likely doing in my career or in real life. So I'm not just like using one of those typing what's it called, like websites like TypeMonkey or others that can help you speed your typing. I can still do that, but so that I'm not actually wasting an hour of just practicing how to type and stuff like that. I'm actually doing stuff like it's the same thing, except the things that I'm given is not a bunch of random words and stuff. It's actual stuff that I need to know in order to actually do something with it. Hopefully you guys understood that. Linking, okay, that's 60%. Oh, another thing about this, within the IDE, the desktop environment, on console, the terminal right there, this is called console, there is a bar on the side so you could like scroll up and then see everything. Like when you're first, see, like you can't do this when you're installing Arch Linux through the live ISO via the USB drive. And if I'm wrong about that, put that in the comments, and then let me know. Teach me how to do stuff. If you guys know, I will not trust you 100% because some of you guys like to make people or like trick people into removing the French. So if you see anything in the comments or anyone else tells you to type in RM space -F, that means it removes everything that you just did, basically undoes all your work, and you have to do everything all over again. So don't do that. Do not do that. I did it live, and some people thought that I didn't do my due diligence and homework and research and watch other YouTubers play around with that. or they like typed it in, they played around jokingly, like if they were gonna actually press it. But no, don't do that. It's like tradition, I guess, amongst Linux users to remove the French. I guess it's I don't know. Since 6%. Wow. Well, meanwhile it's downloading. Let's see what else we have to do. So I'm gonna ask it, how do I get, let's see, OBS-vkcapture. So I'm gonna type in how do I install is it VA-capture? Fuck, what was it called? OBS-vkcapture. Okay, so delete that. OBS dash, okay, make some typos there. OBS-vk okay, OBS-vkcapture. OBS-vkcapture is a separate plugin for OBS that lets you capture Vulkan applications, games, emulators, etc. directly without relying on X11 Wayland screen capture. It's very useful for Steam games, Dolphin emulator, etc. So I'm going to need to have it downloaded, right? This plugin is also in the AUR, not the official repos. Once you have Yay, just run yay-s OBS-vkcapture. Okay, so it's just as simple as that. That will pull and build it from the AUR. What it does, it injects the Vulkan applications to allow OBS to hook and record them. It provides a game capture Vulkan OpenGL source inside OBS. It works better than generic screen capture or games higher for games, higher performance, fewer issues. So yeah, I definitely need that. Post-install check. After installing, restart OBS and check. Opening
When you add a new source, you should see Game Capture Vulkan open in the list. If my files didn't get deleted and stuff because of the capturing, repartitioning, and all this stuff, then I shouldn't have to do anything. Again, this is just like installing an app on your phone, on your laptop or whatever. It's just like going to like their app store and downloading the app and actually having the app down here so you could be able to click it. Like Steam is on here. Like I have all the files and stuff for it. It's just when I click it, it's not there. It's not installed. I haven't opened it on my MacBook in a long ass while, and it has to update. Whatever. I rarely even play on this, but yeah, I guess it's capable of playing video games. But a lot of the Steam, what's called the developers that create the games and put it on Steam, they need to optimize it or make it be able to be played by Mac OS. Actually, if I click on about this Mac, this is the, let's see, 15-inch M2 MacBook Air from 2023. Oh, I thought it was 2019, so it's newer. Okay, chip is Apple M2, 16 gigs of memory, and it has Sequoia 1561. Let's see what else. Okay, that's cool. Nice. It's at 96%, you guys. Almost there, almost there. Library. If you guys didn't know this, it's totally unrelated to this, but meanwhile we're waiting, right? There's this little Apple icon. If you guys open Steam on your MacBook or MacBook Air, there's this little Apple button in your library. You click it, and it'll tell you which games that you have you can actually play on the laptop. All right? Not that many, but whatever. You guys can also get what's it called, buy games off of the Apple Store, but nah, I'll just download and pay for my games on Steam. That way everything is all in one place, right? 100%, let's go! Alright, we'll be back in a bit, you guys. Battery's almost dead.